Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Betty Smith with Sauter County Daily News. Been on the road today. We were at the dog pound earlier, covering some stuff with it being the beginning of the year, trying to make people mindful with pets and everything. Now we are with Betty Davison, and we're going over stuff about horse rescue. And so Betty, I'm going to ask Betty a few questions and get the information out there to you guys. Because again, you guys are constantly looking for donations for hay. You're looking for out resource help, volunteers. And there's a lot of information that ties into that. And a lot of times we don't think about those things. And we just got lucky enough. We had a beautiful day today. So I'm going to kind of come back around the camera there. I'm going to ask Betty some questions. And then I'm going to give you this lovely view with the horses that she does have. And we'll talk about adoption. So hang right in there, guys. I'm going to kind of flip my camera there. You get to see that beautiful scene out there. And I will leave it right like that. So again, Betty, we were just talking off camera, and we were talking about the rescue. So it's Wild Horse Rescue. It's a nonprofit organization.
Nonprofit, 501c3, public charity.
So again, and when we're in the comments, we will also put the information, how to contact you, how to reach to make those donations for the Wild Horse Rescue as well. And I wanted to let Betty know that, and I want to let our audience know that. Then the other thing is, can you step us through a little bit of a process, what happens to why we're at this point where you're having, I know there's more than one rescue, but you're obviously one of the biggest in the area.
One of the only ones in this local area. The other ones that are around, one's in Huntington area, another one up in Chillicothe, an hour away, and locally there's, I think, one down below Maysville, some Tollsboro, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
There's the other one. But locally here, I'm it.
Right. So, and you're like almost like a one-man show, right? One-woman show.
That's about it, yeah. If the sheriff's department gets a call on a horse loose,
you're the one they contact.
Most people can't catch it. You know, they call me, and I go out and catch it.
Now,
actually, I get it to catch me.
I'm going to kind of pan our camera over here to your Mustang for a quick second, if you want to tell us a little about the Mustang. And guys, like I said, I've got my camera viewed back in toward her Mustang here.
Most of what I have here are Mustangs.
Oh, okay.
Or half Mustang, with exception of the pony. Even that little mule's half Mustang.
Oh, wow.
His mommy was a wild Mustang. But anyway, that mare, I got a call on her the very last days, the 30th, I believe it was, of December, that I went out and visited the people because they're leaving for Texas a week later, and they had no one to take her, and she was untouched and wild.
Oh, wow. So this was something that you will end up having to keep for yourself then?
Well, she will eventually go for adoption, but she may go into the Heart of Phoenix in their Appalachian Trainer face-off that they have. Because then a professional trainer will take her and do 100 days on her and change her entirely.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And then train her at that point.
Oh, yeah. And she'll be ready for that. She's 7 years old, now, untouched, unhandled.
We kind of talked behind the scenes on this, too, because, you know, it's one thing when you're rescuing pets or rescuing a dog and trying to rehouse a dog. These are a little bigger than a dog.
Ball game.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a whole different picture.
It's especially when you're dealing with the wild ones that are untrained. No, you can't walk out there and put a halter on it and bring it in or load it in a trailer and just do. You can't even brush it or pick its feet up.
Right.
Because it's wild.
Now, what happens? How is it that these horses get brought into you? Obviously, there's some kind of abuse.
Well, no, not always.
Okay.
BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, has adoptions in different regions. Mm-hmm. And people go in and adopt these wild Mustangs, these unhandled Mustangs. They get approved by the government agency with an application, and they adopt them, and they take them home, and then some of these people, unfortunately, have no clue as to how to work with these horses.
Right. They kind of take it almost like it is a pet. It's
not like getting a domestic horse that hasn't been handled or something like that, because they're totally different than the horse that was bred domestically.
Right.
Totally different. They're innately fearful of you. It's born into them. They have that natural need to stay away from people, and if people don't know how to work with them, it just gets worse. And you can't force the human relationship with a wild horse. It doesn't work. You can't force it. You have to build that foundation of trust.
Now, and so that's where I'm going to go back into the adoption. Say you do have people that are serious about owning a horse. How do they take those steps of, like, either contacting you, again, which we're going to put your information out there.
If I have one available for adoption that's suitable for the average person to start working with it, we have an application which they fill out, and we check out their source, their veterinarian and their farrier, and we check all these things. And of course the facilities that they plan on keeping, the fencing and stuff they're using for the horses. And once that's approved, then the possibility of adoption is there, and we have adoption.
How long can that take? How long does that adoption take?
Well, usually just a matter of a couple weeks to get approval, and then it's fairly quick, really.
So in the meantime, though,
what knowledge these people have to begin with, whether or not I even allow them to adopt a Mustang.
But you still have to feed them. You still have to clean after them. You still have to do all the everyday chores to take care of these horses until they get through that process.
Yes, and we just brought 5 in July from we had to shut down a rescue, unfortunately. That wasn't what it was supposed to be, and horses were dying there. They had been shot.
Wow.
And anyway, I won't divulge any names or anything like that, but I have 5 BLM Mustangs that they wanted to remain wild, so they're probably 2 out of the 5 won't let you touch them. The other 3 will, but what their trainability is or how much they've been handled, I don't know yet, and won't be evaluated till spring when the weather's nice.
Okay.
So in the meantime, we still have to keep feeding them.
Right. And that's where you're needing those donations for hay.
That's what we need desperately, is donations for hay, round bales.
Straw probably included because it's cold out.
We don't use straw here
Just all
because
hay.
We keep the horses free range in the pasture. They have a shelter building down there.
Okay, I'm going to I'm just going to pan back out through there again. They have a big
shelter building. If they want to get in out of the weather, they have a place to go freely, that they can go in or leave, whatever.
Wow.
We don't confine them to stalls.
Oh, okay. So free range horses then.
We do have areas where we have confined animals that needed to be confined for a period of time, and so we do need barn cleaning done. But they don't live in the barn. They don't live in the stalls. We don't do that. It's not natural to the horse to be confined.
They're used to the outside elements.
And actually, confining horses is part of the reason some horses have health issues.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Well, and I want to go back to that because I know you did say that you try to stay local with your feed, and that's down there in Portsmouth.
When we need grain or feed for a horse that's underweight or something, that's where I go for feed.
And what's the name of their facility?
Portsmouth Feed.
Portsmouth Feed.
On 2nd Street.
And guys, I'm just putting that out there because, again, we'll put this stuff in the comments about the donations, or if you want to go to our PayPal account. Again, it's a organization, so it's not like something she's making a profit off of.
Oh, no.
It's strictly for help to feed the horses.
And I pay the entire water bill out of my Social Security check.
Oh, wow.
That ranges anywhere from $80 to $130 a month, depending on the horses and the weather and how much they drink.
Wow.
So if it was just me, I'd probably use the minimum amount of water.
Right. Keep it real.
These guys don't care. They
don't know nothing about no bills.
No.
That's how they're going to get provided for.
I cover all the insurance on the vehicles to pull the trailers and any repairs or anything.
Which that's what you just said recently. You just had
we had the low boy trailer we haul hay on. Thank God Mark and Tammy Deidrenette bought the parts for it, and Gary Breach did the work on it to fix it.
Okay.
So I got off there.
Yeah. So thank goodness for that.
People that keep some of our horses, put a new bed in the trailer. But still, that doesn't buy the hay. I still have to go out and haul it. And I haul
now the other thing
huge loads of hay.
want to ask too, because I know you said you don't have no delivery service come in.
No,
you have to go get it.
I haul
and if
it.
you guys can see here, she literally is on a hillside. You're going to kind of see a cat in the picture here in a minute, but
I have the best view in the county.
Yeah, I would say yes, you do.
I look over about 6 ridges, and I can see the Shawnee Forest over there and their fire towers.
You're definitely on a beautiful farm. Now, what was this farm originally called? What was this farm originally known as?
It used to be back in the early 90s, the tulip farm.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Art Kenny raised tulips here.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And when I bought it, they wanted a big price, but I didn't want the tulips.
Right,
I'm
right.
not buying tulips.
Well, you know what? Obviously good land for the horses then after that.
The horses love it. And it's good for them. Running up and down the hillsides is good for them.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and I can't deny the view and stuff is beautiful. I got to kind of get a little picture of this guy right here.
We even have deer. There's deer out in the back right now.
Oh, wow. So. Coming up by the horses. So again, we just wanted to get this out there to you guys and kind of get this stressed out of the need that is needed for like hay. And again, I'm going to put the information into the contacts. I wanted to follow up with Betty Davison because we had talked to Animal Welfare back in December. Again, we talked to the Scioto County Dog Pound today. First of the year, and the reason why I'm stressing this, a lot of times people make New Year's resolutions and they're like, they want to make a difference in their community.
Well, we need a camper here.
Yeah.
We need a camper donated to set out here for volunteers to stay in should they come from 3 or 4 hours away for a weekend. They have a place to stay without
that's a good point.
Motel.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're still tossing the idea what to do with the camper, this might be a good purpose for that and get a tax deduction for next year.
They get a tax deduction when they file their taxes this
year.
Well,
you'll get more out of it than most places. Yeah.
So this little guy people were trying to run over him because they couldn't keep him in a fence.
Oh, wow.
And the people surrendered him to me because the little guy's mommy passed away. He's just a year old.
Oh.
And anyways, they surrendered him to me so that he would be safe. That's why he's here.
Yeah. And it's a miniature pony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mommy was a mini, and his mommy was old, and she passed away, and it was just one of those things.
Well, I do hope, Betty, that we're getting enough of that information out there to try to help make a difference. But again, that's why I go back to, we've got a lot of stuff going on with the new year. And so people can be mindful of things if they're wanting to make a difference in their community. Maybe you're in a different community, but you love horses and you want to be a part of it.
It doesn't take a lot to help.
Right.
If 100 people gave $10 a piece monthly,
right.
on a regular, I wouldn't have to worry about buying hay. I'd have the funds for hay.
And one thing I want to kind of wrap this up on too, because I talked to Judy earlier at the Dog Pound, but just to kind of follow up on that, at some point in time, do you feel not that you're going to have to pass that torch?
Absolutely.
And
I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
And if I can teach somebody what I know, I've learned since I was 10 years old about working with horses with problems and wild horses. I've taught people to work with horses in this county.
So, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's a good learning experience, especially if you're out there and maybe you're going to become a horse veteran or, where you deal with horses, a veterinary. This might be a good opportunity to take a part.
One of our local vets used to wear a helmet where he goes to service these horses and take care of them in a show barn. He had to put a helmet on when he went in the stalls because these horses were that dangerous.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't do that anymore.
And we talked about that too behind the scenes because, and again, earlier I made this comment about where the schools, they do something with young adults from 16 to 18 where they get community service hours.
4-H isn't interested.
I hate to hear that. Yeah.
I tried.
Well, but here's the thing. Maybe them watching this, you're going to have that young person that's going to take that interest. But we did talk about liabilities. Now, you did say that if they're 16 to 18 years old.
I have a liability waiver, a release that parents would have to sign for children. And if the adults want to volunteer here even and learn, they also have to sign a waiver of liability.
Okay.
It's It's just common practice in places like this to do that for our protection.
Right. Now, is there anything, let me ask you another thing too, because I don't want to keep too long, but I want to get the point across to folks. Is there anything that you want to put out there to let people know, or any last minute information? And I am going to kind of turn that back toward you a little bit on this.
Not really. I mean, basically, we handle horses that people cannot handle, that are unmanageable, and we don't want to see them go into kill pens. That's unfortunate and a very sad thing to happen. If we can intervene before that happens, that's good. But we don't take in people's old horses just to find them a place to stay. We are not a sanctuary. So,
right. But you guys have, you said there are those out there, correct?
We have a few that, because of trainability, and most of them are wild Mustangs, they will go into a special place, or we'll find a special place to put them, because there's no sense in going into kill pens. We don't want to pay the exorbitant fees that people want to charge to bail these horses once they hit a kill pen. Because that's just feeding the kill buyers, and we won't do it. I can't do it.
Right.
We have enough trouble feeding the ones we do rescue. Like that one, she would have gone in the kill pen.
The Mustang, yeah.
Somebody, or if they turned her loose, which they said they thought about doing, which was illegal for one thing. Number two, if they turned her loose, nobody would have caught her. Mm-hmm. She would have ended up somebody trying to shoot her to kill her. And that's sad. Right. That shouldn't happen.
And then again, guys, this is that information we're trying to get out there.
This horse will have a chance at a long life, and she'll go into the Appalachian Trainer
and
face-off.
horses' longevity is at least 30 years, correct?
Well, close to it, usually 25 to 30 years. Some have lived longer, some live less, depending on the individual horse, just like people.
Right.
So, we're all different.
I want to thank Betty for getting us out here with Sauter County Daily News. I want to thank Mark Craycraft and his team. I know a lot of times we do a lot more upbeat stories, and not that this isn't one of them, but again, it's going to make people mindful, like the dog pound story, the animal welfare story. This is the things that's going on. And again, this is the beginning of the year. So again, if you're trying to get involved in your community, or you're trying to think, I want to make a difference this year,
check out our Facebook page.
Yes. She says she's got 348 people on there right now. She could take more people on there, at least to educate you. And again, if you're that young person that might be going up, like you said, you got to pass that torch at some point in time too, and you want people to be knowledgeable.
We'd like to have somebody willing to pay off the mortgage to make an investment in the property with the commitment
to take care of the horses. Yeah.
Because you've got to be committed to the horses. That's number one here.
Right. So that'd be your legacy, is making sure them horses are taken care of.
They get fed before I do.
Because that's your passion, it sounds like it. Yes.
It is. Yeah.
And I do. I appreciate her having me come out here to her farm. It is a beautiful place. Beautiful setting. They've got at least, what'd you say, 11 horses right now?
We've got 13 horses here.
Okay.
And if you want to come visit, message me on Facebook or whatever, make an appointment to come.
Right. Yeah, don't just show up. Yeah.
Don't just show up, because I might be off hauling hay if I can get some. So
she's a hard worker, and she needs that. It's always good to get that help.
I can't quit.
Right.
Man upstairs won't let me.
Oh.
Every time I think I'm going to quit, he does something that says, "No, you're not quitting yet."
Not yet. You still got a purpose for that,
something
right?
happens that says no.
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
No.
All right, guys. I want to thank you again, Betty. I do thank you for getting me out here and giving me that opportunity to tell the story.
Well,
because I hope it makes a difference.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right, guys. We're going to finish it off there with that beautiful scene. And you can see that where the sunset is setting over there. And Wild Horse Farms, we'll put
Wild Horse Rescue.
Wild Horse Rescue, and we will put it in the comments, everything that they need to know, and they can go back to this link to find out more information.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off with Sauter County Daily News. You guys have a good evening.